Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm just Harold. You ever been out somewhere and overheard two people having crazy conversations?
Yeah, well, we are those people. We've been having these conversations since college.
Yep, it's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts podcast, The Bachelorette, Season 20, Episode 1 and 2 recap. Be sure to like, subscribe, rate, and leave a review.
How on earth did we get here to the Bachelorette? That's the real question. I've been asking myself this all afternoon and yesterday because I feel like we're about to switch roles here. Seriously, because for those new to the show and for those who've been here, let's just remind you. Terrell at one point in time made a deal with the devil, said he would never again watch reality TV until they had a black bachelor. Well, of course he figured they would never have a black bachelor, right? Pandemic hits. ABC says, give the black guy a shot. Enter Matt James. So he's stuck watching the show. Me being a good friend that I am, I suffered through that season with him too, okay? And in return, him being the good friend that he is, he reluctantly watched one of my favorite shows, Married at First Sight, which he's secretly really likes right now, right? Well, here we are now. You asked for it. We're back. The Bachelorette, the Black Bachelorette. So here we are this season.
This is how we got here because somebody put into the thing, what shows would y'all want us to do? And then we had one of our awesome subscribers like, well, y'all talk about the Black Bachelor. There's a Black Bachelorette. You should do that one. Then I get a phone call and he's like, hey, we should do the Bachelorette. I'm just like, fine.
Hey, it was that already to love.
Yeah, I'll take the regardless of what nephew Tommy says. If he wants to come on here, I'll debate with him in a heartbeat of why I will never do Ready to Love again. So I will do the Bachelorette.
Well, we're playing catch up, and you know what? I'm already regretting it. I see why I never really watched The Bachelor before. Why I've never watched The Bachelorette. So this is my first time watching this, first experience. And you know what? We get to meet Charity, right? And meeting Charity, she's. This is the thing. When I saw her say this, and all I could see was Terrell's eyes rolling when she says she's glad she gets to show little girls that look like her that they can be in this position too. See, he just did it.
Yeah, because that's what everybody wants their little girls to go onto a show with 25 guys you're gonna make out with. That's every parent's vision for their young daughters. I think I like Charity. Seems to be like really great person. I saw parts of clips when she was on Zach's season. I don't really watch the show, but there's some reason I saw some clips. Mm-hmm. Cheerleader, went to Auburn, was in a 6-year relationship. There's a lot of cheating, and so I guess she was doing a whole lot of forgiving. Seems like her family.
She never said solid. He did the cheating though. She just said there was a whole lot of cheating.
Yeah, I think it was him. I don't think it was her.
We're going to assume that, but go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to assume that. But it seems like she comes from a pretty good, background, good family. So who knows? It's so weird to watch this show because I couldn't be on this.
Right.
I could do The Bachelor, but I could never be on The Bachelorette because I don't want to watch everybody going after the person I'm trying to go after, and I don't want to compete.
Right. Me neither. At least not like that. I don't want to compete in the same house. Got to see you every day, and we're competing for the same girl. We're not R. Kelly and who was that? Was it Nick Cannon? The same girl. Now, I will say with her and her family, I like that the whole family was there, and because she's really close to her brother Nehemiah. She had a sister, what's her name, Amayaka, her brother David, her mom Vicky, and her dad David. And I like the fact that they were all there and all speaking nicely and kindly about all of this, right? Then we get to meet the guys. Who stood out to you? Because as they're rolling out, each guy tried to stand out in different ways. And first one out was Aaron B, aka Aaron. Which is a wonderful joke from Key and Peele. But he had... Did you pick up on the fact that it was a two-headed coin at first?
Oh, yeah. I was like, there's no way that you're going to make them say, I'm sure that's a two-headed coin.
Right.
Which, again, a great thing to do to stand out because I think that's what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. You really have 10 seconds, right? You think as a recruiter, you have like 2 seconds to impress me with your resume. Here, you got about 10 seconds. By the time you get out the vehicle, walk up and say whatever you have, and then get into the house. So there were a few that stuck out to me. I thought I liked Joey. mainly because of the deal he did with the flower. Because I didn't know that
Right.
about Hawaii, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And then Xavier, you don't see a lot of black science nerds.
Right.
And I love that about him and his passion for taking care of his family.
And
Now,
why?
what tripped me,
Yes.
and for why, it's because of his mom having an autoimmune disorder. But what tripped me out is when he said he knits and plays ukulele. How many brothers you know is like, hey man, I can't hang tonight. I got my knitting group coming over. We're making scarves. I was like, you go ahead on. I respect that.
He's like, look, I'm gonna stand out. When he says knitting, she's like, if I show us, I'll knit her a scarf, and I'm in there.
But I mean, hey, you don't see a lot of people doing stuff like that. That's a lot of black men. So I thought, good for you.
I love it. Love to see the
Braden broke out
diversity.
the shots. Mm-hmm. That's always a smart move. Come out with a tray of shots.
I like the fact the way he did it though. He had it covered. It was like, because the way Braden did it, he came off smooth with it. Had it covered. He was like, well, I'm a traveling nurse, and you got to make sure you have your shots. But then he wasn't ready for the shot. What the hell kind of nurse brings out a shot that's not ready for it?
You can't come bring out the shots and then make the face when you take it. You can't make. You got to take that stuff like a G. Just be like, make eye contact. She says, you got to suck your lime. I don't need the lime.
she should have sent him back to the car.
You sit in the back seat. Put your seatbelt on. Now, he did mention the fact that he's been cheated on too. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting to see. Do they trauma bond?
Right.
Quickly, I thought Taylor coming out, you're recording the selfie to say, hey, kids, I'm meeting your mom for the first time. I'm like, that's freaking creative.
Yeah, I like that too.
The fortune cookie from John.
I thought that was pretty cool too. And he's like, give me something that's half Chinese, half American like me. I'm half Chinese, half American. And then she opens it and it has his name in it,
Yeah, I was like, that so smooth. But we got to talk about creepy Spencer.
But here's the thing about Spencer though. Spencer's the only guy that got out of the limousine and acknowledged the chauffeur holding the door. He got out, he said, thank you. And then that was the last good thing he said. Because after that, what the hell?
Ooh, crash and burn, Mav. Crash and burn. That was terrible. Just everything about him. I'm like, girl, you don't hug him. He's probably like grabbed a little bit of her hair and put it in his pocket.
I will say this too, though. I'm always hard on people who do boxing workouts on reality TV because nobody ever looks good throwing punches. Doughton. As tall as he is, I almost expected him to say he was an MMA fighter. He was throwing some good punches. Like they look good.
They can fight in Nigeria.
Well, the extra guy showed up and Jesse said, it's somebody you know. Turns out it's her best friend, her brother, Nehemiah.
Which great. I thought that was great to have that support for her. You can see how close they are. So I really like him, and I'm curious to see what his opinions are going to be throughout the show, because I'm sure this is not the last that we've seen of Nehemiah.
You know what the funny thing is? When he shows up, the first thing I said was, well, actually, when they first introduced him, right? One of the first notes I made was, Nehemiah is her brother and best friend, and we'll probably see more of him this season. I didn't know it would be this quickly. But here we are. Yeah. We get to see him. And before we get into the house and get to where Charity, gets some more one-on-one time with some of the guys, a couple of things here. Because Shireen says, what is happening? Terrell is watching another Bachelor/Bachelorette show.
I'm not happy about it. I'm just doing it. But I'm not happy about it. That's what's happening.
And Zero Bree Roll says, Charity joined the white sorority, so she got some difference about her too. I'm sure. So it's going to be interesting to see how this whole season kind of plays out. But, here's the thing about it. You can't go on the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, right? And not have a diverse group of people. Because even before, one of the things that we had you had issues with the Bachelor before. They'd have, black women on there, but they were all out the first day or second day. First rose ceremony. All right, sorry, didn't get enough time with you. But yeah. So if in reverse, you've still got to have a lot of diversity, and so you got to be open to these things as well. So, it's 2023, right?
And they're all picking guys who are open to, I think there's a vetting process. So they're open to dating someone of some other race. It's not like, Donald Trump Jr. Yeah, I'll date anybody. No, you won't. Come on now. No, you.
Oh my God! Look, Charity goes inside the house, right? She gets to meet one-on-one with some of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of these guys some of them are just kind of like, but James, what'd you think of, he broke out the box that his parents sent for them. What'd you think of that?
Well, I think it's great TV because he's like, oh, I had no idea she put that note in there. I'm like, really, James? There's no way I would go on this experience and my mom sent a box and say, hey, this is for so-and-so when you meet her. And I'm not going to look into it.
Right.
So I'm just like, sure, you didn't know. So it was great acting that he did, but I thought it was sweet, nice. But what I liked about it is, yes, he's an attorney, but he grew up working on a farm, on an apple orchard, and all that. So it's just great to hear some people that worked with their hands most of their life and then grew and got educated and became these type of positions. So he has a great backstory. Let's just see how long he lasts.
You just got to make sure they don't lose the farm. That's all.
Yeah, don't bet it. Don't bet the farm.
Now, Xavier, well, he sat down with her. He said all the right things, and he got the first kiss. But did you notice that she made the move?
Yeah, I did. But, I mean, I think I would have done the same. On the first interaction, I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm terrible Scorpio. I'm not gonna do that because on any first date I've ever done, I just don't automatically go for it,
right?
Because you just want to make sure that they're okay, and you got to fit this as a show. She's the focal point,
right,
of it. So I don't blame him for not initiating the first kiss. Now after that, to me, you have the green light every time y'all have one-on-one.
From this point on,
yeah.
There was a point where all the guys are back in there and they just kind of talk about, all the guys are getting together like, oh, all of us not going to get some time together. She walks in where everyone is, and all of a sudden it became a frat house.
It was just a big game of charity. Look what I can do. Look at me. I can do a flip. Oh, charity, I can do a flip too. I was just like, y'all
watch me body slam this guy.
Let me show you how I'm strong like bull. Charity, look at me. And I get it. Yeah, that first impression roads. That's what makes this show just kind of cheesy. That you're doing a lot of stuff because you want to get the roads. But what was weird to me is that everyone, as soon as what's the name started flipping, what's that guy's name? As soon as he first came out, Chris, he started doing all those flips. I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
Not looking for an act. She's looking for love.
Yeah, it was cool when he did it when he first met her, but then he goes in as soon as she walks in, hey, Charity, look at this. And then he jumps up on the ledge. I'm like, okay. So
that makes her moist. Like she was a cheerleader. She's seen flips.
Yes.
She's seen a lot of things. Like that's not impressive to her.
The only thing you told her is that if a mouse comes along, you can get up there faster. That's all you showed her. Yeah, Zero. It got real primal real quick. So they get past all of that, right? She goes back on some more one-on-ones. And Spencer, your favorite guy, goes to tell her that he has a son. First of all, Spencer has a son?
Yeah. Surprisingly, but yeah, apparently he has a kid. He's not a virgin. He's just an odd duck. I don't know. He's a weird dude. His whole mannerism, just something about him seems like he's off. It's almost you think maybe he's like on the spectrum slightly, just the way that he tries to communicate. He just seems off.
Yeah, if you spell spectrum, Psycho.
Well, he could be crazy. I mean, here's that's what's so weird about him. Like we have no idea. But yet none of us would be surprised if we saw him on the news because we found a body in the trunk. You'd be like, that's what it is. And it's like there's every reality show, there's always one where we're like, who is the killer?
It was a murder mystery. He's the first suspect. First, last, and only suspect. Aaron B now, he decides, apparently Aaron B stands for R&B. Because he broke out the keyboard, speaks his... and speaks her love language. He doesn't sing to her. He just speaks it, about bubble baths and foot rubs.
And so here's what he did. I'm self-taught.
Yes.
And she goes, "Oh, you touched it?" He goes, "No, I just did that. I just started." So he's just there, just hitting buttons, just pressing keys, just to see what it would do, and then just trying to come up with some words. But it still worked out, and I was like, "Good for you.
Yeah,
that's some good game." And then he hit her again with the coin flip. Heads, he gets a kiss. And I was like, definitely a double-sided coin.
Oh yeah, I'm shocked that she didn't figure that out immediately because it was just so obvious. And he's like, "All right, heads, I get a kiss." I'm like, okay, here we go with this trick. This is gonna get old really fast, right? And then Braden gets out there, he gets a kiss, and then he couldn't stop talking about it.
Why would you come out just talking so much about that? It's great. You got a kiss. And when they all see the show, they're going to see it. Mm-hmm. But just keep going, oh my God. Oh, and let's say he was smitten, right? Mm-hmm. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Still, shut your mouth. Mm-hmm. Calm down about it. Is this your first kiss? You remember your first kiss? Remember your first time getting to second base. So you just couldn't wait to tell. We were kids, right? Mm-hmm. That's what he seemed like. He seemed like a pubescent teenager that finally got to second base for the first time and can't wait to tell everybody.
Somebody mentioned in the comments of the Married at First Sight, where they now, when we said we were going to do the Bachelorette, said, because of course 2 episodes had already gone, and said, well, she's kissing everybody. I was like, it can't be that bad. Then I saw this, I'm like, and it's not like she just gave him a kiss. I mean, she was tonguing these dudes down. And it got kind of uncomfortable. I'm sorry. It was just like I felt bad for the 3rd and 4th guy. I was like, because you're catching all the back slobber. You know about backwash? You're catching all the back slobber. Are you kidding me?
Sitting there kissing and be like, wait a minute, I wasn't eating wings. Oh, that was Braden. Braden had the wings earlier. That's some I think he had the teriyaki. Give me another kiss? Yeah, he had teriyaki. I remember seeing that now. So here's because I remember that comment. And so as I'm watching, I'm like, okay, yeah, she's tonguing everybody, but no different than when it's The Bachelor. And so I'm like, I don't judge The Bachelor for doing it. I'm not going to judge The Bachelorette for kissing. You kiss as many people as you want. I'm judging the dudes because I know it's probably happening, but why did all of them watch it?
Yes.
And that's why I couldn't watch it. And then they'd be like, hey, Terrell, Charity's ready for you now. I'd be like, no, she's going to need some ginger, palate cleanser, someone else that you're not going to kiss. Go drink some water, take a shot, whiskey, clean that out.
That's the part that it just didn't sit. From the guy's perspective, that didn't sit well for me. Because
I get it. I totally get it. But I just feel like I can't have the double standard to be like, well, it's The Bachelor. And so these ladies signed up for this show. Well, it's The Bachelorette, and she has the exact same right to do what the Bachelors do, and she can make out with all 25 if she wants to. I'm not judging her for it.
Indeed, if she decides to sleep with the finalists, fine. It's her prerogative. I'm just saying, as the guy, you just watched her tongue down somebody else, and you go, well, you know what? Let me see if I can top that. Nah, I'm good.
Look at his technique. He's not even holding her head. So, so I'm gonna come when it's my turn. I'm gonna do this. Do a little tilt.
Somebody should have come with a mouthwash.
And I'm sure they probably, I would hope that the producers, they have her little, because notice that her lipstick is always perfect every time she meets the new guy. So I'm betting that she does a little touch up, in between each person.
Does a touch up include mouthwash and a brushing the teeth and getting all that other saliva out? No, I doubt it.
You can do it. You can do a shot of vodka, wish it around, kill it.
Those are club rules. Now, we talked about Charity's brother, Nehemiah, who showed up. He became Undercover Brother, right? And was serving as a bartender because he wanted to eavesdrop on what the guys were saying. What do you think about the way he played that role, for one, and some of the things that he heard?
I'm thinking that all those people are dumb if they thought that mustache was real. And look how thick it was, and the hair, but all of a sudden all of this is just really, stop it. I'm just looking at that mustache, I'm like, that can't be real.
But remember, the one guy was like, man, you look really familiar. Don't I know you from somewhere? Did you wrestle in high school? Is that mustache fake? One person kind of figured it out.
Yeah, because that mustache looked super fake.
Mhm.
There's no way. But I thought, I mean, I'm sure for him, it's probably difficult to hear all
Mhm.
these people talking about your sister.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That has to be really tough.
Mhm.
But I think he played it fairly. I mean, he didn't get too involved. And I think I'd have been, for the guys, I'd have been really cautious. I'm like, hey, you're the bartender. You should be making drinks.
Mhm.
I don't need you to ask me all this stuff. So what do you think? What do you feel? And I'm like, no, sir. Tito's and soda. No lime. That's what I said.
No
Thank
lime
you.
and no questions.
Yeah, no lime and no questions. Do your job. Your job is not to get to know me. I'm not trying to get to know you. I'm here for her. But I thought he played it as best as he could.
Yeah.
And I didn't think he was gonna. I was expecting maybe there's gonna be some type of bombshell or somebody said something. I can't wait to tap that. And he
Yeah.
was, oh, I got to run into it. But I felt like he didn't really hear much.
No, he really didn't hear a whole lot. Just like, hearing people say they want to kiss her, and that's the kind of thing. And just even like one guy, I think it was Michael, saying that he wasn't really into the petite body type, but because he's lived in the South for 10 years, so he likes the curvy women. I'm like,
it's like Drake. I like why I'm in BBW.
His reveal to the guys, though, that who he was, I thought was kind of funny. It was provided a little comic relief. But then you saw some of the guys getting a little nervous, especially when he said, "So I'm going to go talk to Charity before she comes back in here." And they're like, "Uh-oh." Well, actually, the one person who was really nervous was Braden, because he wouldn't shut up. He told him everything about kissing her.
Mm-hmm. And then when he had said, they're talking about the first impression rose, Braden felt that he thinks he's going to be the one to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to admire. I mean, this is a competition.
Yeah.
Right? You got 25 people competing for the heart of one person.
Mm-hmm.
You're not all going to be nice. You got to level up. So I get what someone doing. I get Braden's weird personality. I get it. Mm-hmm. But he felt really confident. He felt a strong connection from that kiss. So I didn't think it was negative that he said that I think I'm going to get the rose.
I didn't think it was negative either. I just think it was kind of grade school of him, because he was the fourth person to get the kiss from her, and she kissed everybody as passionately before you as she did you. So it was nothing special. It's not like she pecked everybody else as she tongued him down. She tongued everybody down.
Okay? You got sloppy fourths.
Yeah, exactly. And Iris, you're absolutely right. I thought the Bachelor franchise might have more money for that costume. Yes, they could have had somebody actually put on some real makeup on him and make him look a little more, that disguise look. I could have bought that from Party City.
Yeah, I think that was the last minute audible. It's like, what? Her brother's tripping. He wants to get involved. How do we do this? All right, fine.
How silly can we make it
look? What do you got in the trunk? I got a wig. I got a hat. I got some glasses. And I got this Velcro strip that we can turn into a mustache.
Hey, that's exactly what happened. So look, Charity, after talking to Nehemiah, comes back in to talk to the guys, and hey, Braden, come here. And so I don't know about you, but I was like, hey, she's about to rip him a new one, right?
Yes, but I was annoyed because I'm thinking that she's going to say something. It was all drawn out dramatic, all for her to wind up giving him the first impression rose. And I'm like, this was 15 minutes. This is 15 wasted minutes.
Yes.
For this show to be dragged out for 2 hours. So at least Ready to Love is only an hour. So it knows it's crap, but it's only an hour. This is 2 hours. I had to upgrade my Hulu subscription just to get through this because I kept having the commercials. And I'm like, I thought I didn't have commercials. And I realized I do have commercials in Hulu. I had to upgrade it just so I can get through this. So that's why I'm annoyed so far about the show. But he wound up getting the rose anyway because she liked the fact that he came across a little cocky and arrogant and made her feel like he was 100% all there for her.
Right. And that everyone was shocked. I was shocked. I think you were probably a little shocked too. But then we get to the rose ceremony, and Black Aaron gets the first rose. Mr. R&B, he got the first rose, because remember, that's the one that her brother had as the number one draft pick.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Brother had to like him, so he gets the first rose. And then I'm trying to watch and pay attention to who's getting a rose, and I was like, wait a minute, Spencer?
Exactly.
You called out crazy Spencer. He's gonna get a rose.
Yeah, he got the last rose, and you notice right before him, Doughton, he looked like he was about to cry if he didn't get a rose. Luckily, he got one. But you're right, Spencer got a rose.
Spencer, you gotta move. You gotta bring The Shining to the next round.
You know who didn't get a rose? The same guy you talked about, Mr. Backflip himself, jump up on the countertop.
Yeah, he's gonna flip his ass right back in that limo and go home. And hopefully he never does that again to impress somebody.
Oh, you know he will. Oh man. Well, look. Episode 2 rolls around. It's now down to what? Because he started. How many did they start off? Was it 25 guys?
25. 6 got eliminated, so we're at 19 for episode 2.
Day 2. In walks Jesse, and he had some colorful things to say about your guy, Braden.
Braden with that outfit, because I saw the scarf. I was just like, okay, Abercrombie and Fitch, what are you doing? And then Jesse's like, hey, Braden, what's up with that outfit? He goes, did you get the first impression rose? So you just said, fuck it? I thought that was hilarious. I was like, good one. Get him, Jesse. And it seems like his earrings keep getting longer and longer.
Yeah.
Every outfit change.
You're going to mess around. He's going to have on some hoop earrings soon. My episode 5, he's going to have on some hoop earrings. Or some salt and pepper earrings from the 90s.
Yeah.
Look, we found out for this episode we're going to get 2 group dates, 1 individual date. And they decided to do the individual date first. And who gets the individual date? The guy that was the number 1 draft pick for Nehemiah, which is Aaron B, who, the more I look at him, the more he looks like he's Draymond Green's younger brother.
Yes. Yes. I was saying the same thing. I'm like, this looks like the right Draymond. Like the original Draymond looks like a version that they tried. Now this Aaron looks like the Draymond that they should have perfected.
He ain't got no jump shot though. But first thing I thought about that too was like getting that individual date, the first individual date. Is that better than getting the first impression rose? Because remember, he was really upset that Braden got that first impression rose. He was really disappointed and upset.
Yeah.
But he got the individual date. That's better, right? Because even Braden knows that's better.
I'd rather have the individual date. You got hours of just one-on-one time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first impression rose, she had a quick makeout session with Braden.
Mm-hmm.
So all in all, probably spent 10 minutes directly with Braden. He's getting hours of her time. So I'd rather have the individual date and keep your rose.
Here's a perfect example of just because you didn't get the thing that you thought you wanted, hold up, the next thing might be better. Because he got the better thing, including the car. Like, Jesus, that is my dream car right there. That classic Mustang, except, of course, it's got to be stick shift, not that automatic crap. But it was good to see that. You noticed something when they went out to the car, too, though, because they get out there, and, of course, before all the guys walk out, they're having a simple conversation. We expect one thing, and then something else happened.
Yeah, I think Aaron was walking up to open up the passenger seat to let her in. She's like, no, you get in. I'm gonna go around. And I was just like, you go ahead on, Charity. You drive that Mustang. Mm-hmm. I thought that was cool because I normally would drive.
Yeah.
Control issues, but I would normally drive. Anytime I'm going on a date, I'm gonna drive. But the fact that she said, no, you get in, and I'm gonna get around here, and I can tell maybe Aaron was a little comfortable at first, which I probably would have been too. But then he just got into it, and I was like, I really like that about her.
Yeah. A couple of things I noticed on this date too. No surprise to me that she said, so do you like old school music or current pop, R&B? And stop there. There was no mention of, there was no hip hop mention. No surprise there at all, right?
Maybe she's just not into hip hop.
Yeah, it might not be.
That might not be her thing, regardless of what sorority she's in or how she grew up. Maybe she just doesn't like rap.
Well, look. Some people will say, judging by what's out right now, can't blame her. The other thing was Aaron saying, hey, this place looks really familiar. And she's like, really? He's like, yeah, I think I've seen it on Grand Theft Auto. Been driving up and down these streets. I'm like,
yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, whatever, Aaron. I think they had a really good first date. I think the fact that both parents are military, so there's a lot of commonality that they have. Both their parents are still together. I thought being out the picnic just from the road or the side of the road, looking at the Hollywood sign was cool. But
Yeah.
then actually walk up to the Hollywood sign
Mm-hmm.
and be in front of that, I was like, this is actually um,
It's a movie scene.
pretty cool date. And then we finally find out about the coin.
Yeah. He finally admits to what we knew. Yes. We knew it. At least he finally fessed up to her that, and didn't even come with a second one. Like, no, let me just show you. It's a two-headed coin, right? All right, cool. I thought that was good that he did that. Well, they go to dinner after that, and Aaron admits to not being the best boyfriend in the past. So they said he struggled with not listening, actively listening, and he had poor communication. But you like the fact that he went for therapy.
Yes. Get yourself some counseling. Sometimes you need it. It might not need to be for years. It could be a month. It could be 2 months, but sometimes it helps to get yourself some help and help you figure out how to connect better with not only just yourself, but also with other people. So coming out of a 4-year relationship, I'm glad that he went and got some therapy before he jumped into something new, or else he's just going to wind up repeating the same patterns. So good for him.
I like the fact that he said he called Charity a ton of green flags. We always hear about red flags, right? Very seldom do you hear about the green flags. And I just thought it was kind of refreshing to hear that.
It is good because normally what happens is when we see green flags, we're trying to really prove why they're really red. It's too good about it. This is too good. It's too good about him. Something's wrong. Yeah. I got to find out why. And so I do appreciate the fact that he just called out she's a ton of green flags, and I'm sure that helped make her feel good. Although it seemed like she was feeling good throughout this whole date anyway.
Right. But I wonder if that what was her name? Elena.
Lauren Elena.
I wonder if that was that could have been one of the red flags. It was for me. Why did they have to have a country singer? I know we're diversifying. But still.
Maybe she likes country. She says, "Hey, this is the type of music I'm into." Yeah. And they're like, "Who's available?" Lauren Elena can do it. She'd be like, "I love her. Oh my god, so good." So maybe that's who she got to come on the show.
Yeah, true.
Could you imagine being a performer and just performing for 2 people who are just dancing and just making out? No one else in the room.
Well, you know what? I will say this because one thing I did notice. When they started dancing, you noticed Lauren Elena even started smiling more. Like she was just performing at first. But when she saw them start dancing and him twirling her around, you could see her in the background. She's slightly out of focus. But if you're just looking and, observing the background, you notice her smile. So she got a kick out of it too, so.
Could you DJ for just 2 people by themselves?
I'm not going to lie. I've been in clubs where it felt like it was just 2 people.
I would love to see you do just 2 people. Womp.
Look, one thing there are always some rough nights. Now, the first of the group dates, sun's out, buns out. How are you feeling about this? Because first of all, they get to the beach, they're having some fun, thinking, oh, this is going to be some nice little fun beach games. Then Jesse shows up, and everybody knows, something's about to happen. And it did. The 4th annual Bachelorette Dodge Bowl.
Yeah. So here's what I didn't like about it is they break out the outfits that the men are supposed to wear. And I'm like, had this been The Bachelor, and they break out these tiny thongs these girls are supposed to wear to throw balls at each other, it'd probably be a problem. If you look at the previous, from what they showed, the previous Bachelorette Bowl or whatever it is, dodgeball, they weren't dressed like that. Then, did you also notice the fact that it was cold out? So a lot of people had jackets and sweaters. They're standing there chilling. When Xavier's getting interviewed, he says, "Yeah, I just can't wait." I'm like, why would y'all do that to these people?
Well, let's be honest, though. One of the things they did show, because they showed the 3 previous dodgeballs, and they did strip dodgeball the last season.
Yeah. And I like the other person that from that last season who was like, "I'm not doing this." He said, "I think I feel if my parents and my daughter sees me doing this on TV."
Yeah.
No. And so I was like, kudos to that guy, whoever he was.
Yeah.
But, they get out there and they get in little skimpy outfits, and then now they break them into teams and it's go time.
Yep. And it was a great battle going on. I think the biggest victim of this game of dodgeball, as they called it, were the spectators. Because Jesus.
Yeah, you see that 90-mile-an-hour ball Caleb threw that almost
Yes.
hit that lady. I was like, damn it! But you know who was freaking Xavier?
Yes.
That dude was a beast. I
He
was
was
like,
the
how did
early
he not get
MVP?
MVP?
Yeah.
How did he not get MVP? Xavier was lit.
First game, I'm like, because he's like, what they don't know is I play dodgeball all the time. I'm a pro at this. To the point that like he must bully all these kids on the playground or something because how is he doing all of this? Well, the thing about it is he's the early MVP, and I'm looking at okay, I said, well, does he get worse? He never got any worse. He was constantly the best player out there, but they didn't give it to him.
No, they didn't. I was surprised. I wound up giving it to Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian balled out too. I don't want to take anything away from what Adrian did, but I just thought it was going to be Xavier. And then so after the fact, who's going to start hating on Adrian? Your boy Braden.
Of course, because Adrian, because he was the MVP, gets to go on the after party date with the winning team, right? And so he goes on there with it, and first of all, Braden gets some alone time and a kiss, of course, because everything comes with a kiss in this one. But when he gets back, you're right. He's hating on Adrian and saying that he wouldn't have picked him as MVP. He's like, I thought Caleb should have gotten it.
Yeah, and you just see Adrian just straight up annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was like, okay, Adrian looks like he's going to go off at some point, so I can't wait. There's some buildup happening here. And then John, gets some one-on-one time, and of course he gets another kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they have that bond because his older sister and him have the same bond that Charity has with Nehemiah. So I think that's his, and the fortune cookie. I think she's still hooked on the fortune cookie.
But and he also took the lead to get the kiss too. It wasn't like a lot of the guys are letting her lean in for the kiss. Like she's the one going for the kiss all the time, and he was like, no, and she liked that.
She did, and I think first time kiss, let her do it. Mm-hmm. But second time, Braden, Aaron B, they're going for it every single time now because they know they have the green light, which I thought was great. But then Adrian, though, that dude just started to annoy me a little bit. I can tell he was annoyed by Braden, but he just started to annoy me with his whole attitude. You're here for your daughter. You want to tell her why you're here, and you're leaving behind a 1-year-old daughter, which that's nice. But if I'm Charity, I'm like, I didn't ask you to do that.
Yes.
I mean, it's great. I didn't ask you to do that. Yeah, you made a choice, so deal with the choice. But then he spent most of that time just trying to cap on everybody else.
No, he spent the rest of the time. His first portion of the time was spent telling her how hard it was to leave his daughter to come, but he did it for her. And then the rest of the time was all about the other guys and how they think it's spring break. Nothing. He said he's there for her, but he didn't try to get to know her at all. He didn't try to tell her about him. And in all honesty, he didn't give her a reason to stick around. And Shireen even says, I watched the show too much. It was obvious that Adrian was picked to cause the drama with, he calls him earring dude, Braden. And we'll see that as we get a little further on. But, next up was group date number 2. Which was guys competing for a chance to have the longest kiss in Bachelor Nation history.
Whatever. So longest kiss in Bachelorette Nation history, 3 minutes, 22 seconds, right? And so they're competing. And part of it was nice because they're trying to help Charity get to know them a bit more. But I got to give a shout out to Joey. I mean, Joey he understood the assignment. Yeah. He's like, I am here for her.
Because he fumbled the bag the first night.
Yeah. He's like, I'm prepared. He ignored all the noise around him. He was so focused on Charity the whole time. And then his answer about his best kiss, I was like, hey, wonder what he's going to do. And then when he said, she had this beautiful sparkling dress. And our first kiss happened to be the longest first kiss on bed. I was just like, dude.
But okay. Come on. Tell me you at least saw that coming. Because the minute he said to everybody else, I'm going to go a different route, I'm like, oh, Yeah, it's gonna be about her. It was too obvious. Too obvious.
But that was smart.
It was.
Because like,
I'm
who wants
surprised
to
that
hear
none
about
of them
someone
picked
else?
up on that.
Yeah, who wants to hear about someone else? You could go on a date and tell your date, hey, so one time the best kiss I ever had 2 years ago. This girl's awesome. She's so fine. Like, who wants to hear about someone else?
Right.
Make it about this person. So I was like, Joey, you did it right. But I'm like, all the guys had to just sit and watch for the 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. You just had to sit and watch this person kiss the person that you're trying to date. I'm like, see, this is why I couldn't be on this show.
You know what hurt the most for them? The last 60 seconds, because they said, all right, the record's broken. And they're still going. And they're still going. They're not going to stop. They're never going to stop. That was the hardest part for those guys. They're like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah. And you just got to stay. I'm like, I would want to be out by then. Like at that point, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to do this. Because I don't want to kiss you now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Could you honestly kiss somebody you just saw kiss someone else for 4.5 minutes almost?
Well, guess what? They weren't going to get a chance because Joey got a one-on-one date too.
Yeah, he won.
So he gets the one-on-one date, right? And before we get back to everybody else at the house, because the guys go back to the house and they're like, well, I guess all of them are coming back. No, Joey's on this one-on-one date. What did you think of his one-on-one date with Charity?
I thought it was nice. I thought it was a great date. And, you know, he shares more about himself, about why his parents divorced, because he did bring that up in his intro about them being a divorce, but they co-parented really well. So we find out his dad came out as gay when he was in kindergarten, but he still had the same love from both of them. I'm looking at Charity, though, because the way Charity is, my observation, she's just like, yeah, yeah, as if I'm not really interested in this. I want to get back doing some more kissing because that's what I'm here for. You know, so she was listening, but it didn't seem like she was like really interested. She just wanted to get back to the makeout sesh.
So Charity's a dude. I got you. All right, got it.
Oh, really? Oh, baby girl, I'm sorry about that. Here, come here. You do the kiss on the forehead.
That's what it sounds like with her right now. It's just like no kiss goes to waste out here. That's what. But back at the house, Braden, when the guys they get back and they're telling him, well, yeah, Joey's on a one-on-one date. You know, we had this competition and he won and he got a chance to do the longest kiss and all this other stuff. And all of a sudden, Braden throws a fit when he hears about it. He's like, wait a minute, you know, how classless is this? And he's just really pissed.
I'm like, did you forget you're on the show? And here's why I think Braden is pissed, because you can't be someone who has bitter feelings of being cheated on and come onto a reality dating competition show going after one person.
Right.
Because you can't handle the fact that that person kissed someone else, because that's what happened in your relationship. So I feel like that's what Braden's issue is dude, you got to be able to get over the fact that you were cheated on.
So he needs the therapy that Aaron went to.
There you go. That could possibly help him.
The next day, because you know his thing, he throws a fit to the point that he says, "I'm packing up my stuff. If I don't like what she says when we see her tomorrow at the cocktail party, then I'm leaving." Like, so he really packed up his shit to go. And I'm like, okay, like. So the next day they just say there's no cocktail party. We're gonna have a barbecue instead. Cool. Dalton finally gets his one-on-one time. Didn't impress you much. It didn't impress me, but it was cool to see that when he broke out his green card or his alien identification card, and then he gets a kiss out of it. Because it's the same card I had.
Do you still have it? Alien. Do you keep it with you every day?
No, shut up. I don't even know what that thing is.
Oh, it was special, wasn't it? Go ahead. Anyway, the card was amazing.
For him, it was though, and I think it meant a lot for him in that space. And I think that's why, it. You know, and it's one of those sentimental things for him. You know,
but I do like the fact that Dalton was like, "Yeah, so before I get out of here, you kissing everybody else.
Can a brother get a little bit?
Yeah, I'm leaving with something.
Can the drummer get some?
I just want to taste." just want to taste just a sample.
He said, even if it's just a peck. And then she, of course, does what she does and tongues him down too. Like, Jesus Christ, girl. Does your tongue not know any limits?
Do we want that in a relationship? Probably not.
But with everybody, though?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. It's like,
I'm just saying. Well, Braden gets some more one-on-one time. What do you think of his conversation with Charity?
I think he's being just super sensitive and being a baby about it. But also, just after that interaction, I feel like Braden is on this show to get a show. Like, I don't think Braden is really here for Charity. I think he's just being his crazy, wild, authentic self, hoping that someone else will be like, hey, remember that Braden guy from The Bachelorette season 20? We should reach out to him and have him come and be this whatever. So I feel like that's what his end game is.
Well, it's interesting because we knew he was just being a child, right? Or like Iris says, being a man-child, right? In the whole sense of I'm packing up my stuff and I'm going to leave. We knew he wasn't going to leave because he told her his feelings. And she's like, well, look, whatever. Again, she's a guy. I'm just going to say it because she's like, all right, no, tell me what you feel. If that's what you think, that's cool. Tell me what you think. We can always talk about it. Just bring your stuff to me. Let's go. Don't beat around the bush. Talk to me straight. Let's get it out of the way. So they do that. At least she thinks so. Until the Tattletale, Mr. Snitch.
As we were talking about earlier, it seems like every show that has a bunch of guys on it, there's always one Gil from Married at First Sight. There's always a Gil that's going to be the one person to spill the tea. And I'm just, as I've been watching, I'm like, okay, Adrian is the Gil of the group. And he's going to use his one-on-one time to spill tea.
He threw him under the bus, drove over him, then backed it up again and drove again right over him. I'm like, yo, this is twice that he's had alone time with Charity and never spent the time to get to know her. He hasn't even gotten a kiss. Everybody else has gotten a kiss. I think Jesse Palmer got a kiss from her. And he barely got a hug because he's too busy running his mouth. What is wrong with this guy?
Well, I think this is a difference in age. Charity's 27.
Yeah.
Adrian's 33. He has a 1-year-old. Adrian doesn't have time to play games. But Charity's 27. She still has plenty of time to have fun and and play games. He's not about any of that. Yeah. And so I just think that he has a role to play on this show. There's no chance. Yeah, there's no chance that Charity is going to want to date Adrian. If so, she would have kissed him and thanked him for spilling all the tea. But you got no tongue action for being honest.
And that's a great point. We already seen Undercover Brother. He's serious brother, but he's also nosy tell-all brother at the same time. I mean, like this guy, man. So but Jesse comes back and tells them that Charity left because she got some upsetting news. Here's the good thing, because they're like, well, who talked to her last? And Adrian's like, I talked to her last. And I said, and at least he owned up to what he said. And you see Braden over there just rolling his eyes and like, dude, like, come on, why do you keep bringing my name up? When I'm with her, I'm not bringing any of y'all up. Why do you keep bringing my name up? And you know what? You may not agree with Braden on a lot of stuff and going around bragging about the kiss and all that other stuff. And he talks too damn much when it comes to that. But I agree with him there. Why are you talking about me on your one-on-one time? Your limited one-on-one time.
And Braden is 24. I mean, you got to factor that in. He is 24.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Adrian, you're 9 years older than this cat.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, he's acting like a 24-year-old would do. That's on TV. So I'm like, why y'all tripping? Don't waste your time. If you're really there for Charity, every moment you get, talk about your connection. And so with Charity, I honestly feel like every one of these shows, they already have it planned out. Who's going to get more connection? Who's going to be what? And who's going to get it on? Because all the other guys that she's having good connection to make out sessions with, They're doing what you and I are saying they should be doing.
Yeah.
All the other ones that aren't getting, I think it's just for a reason. Like they already know, yeah, we got 25 guys, but she's going to really get close to these 8. And then out of these 8, she's going to narrow it down.
And we need some excitement for the rest of the show. But here's my question for you. And because it really does feel like Adrian and Braden, they're going to be there for probably half of the season or maybe another couple episodes. And then one of them is going to be gone and the other 6 around for lower. Right?
Braden's going to make it further than Adrian.
Yeah.
Put money on that.
Yeah, definitely. He's been in more promos so far. Yeah. Always had another reason. But stop. Here's my question for you. Who's the bigger liar out of these two, Adrian and Braden? Who's the bigger liar? Because is it Braden because he told her how upset he was, but didn't say how he said it was classless for her to be kissing all these guys, right? Or is it Adrian who says he's there for her, but every time he has alone time with her, he's talking about everybody else and not even trying to get to know her? Who's the bigger liar?
Adrian.
That's what I said too.
Yeah, Adrian. I mean, you're on the show for what? I ain't here for all this. I'm here for her. I'm here for getting love. Okay, well then act like it.
Yeah. He has that better I'm better than you syndrome, and he's not, and that's the problem. We get to the rose ceremony, and of course there's a lot of tension there because you're expecting. I even like the fact that some of the other guys, even before then, are like, "Yo, dude, what are you doing, man?" And they're a little upset. They're like, just get rid of both of them. Just let both of them go. We'll be fine.
Yeah, they could probably, but then there's no more drama.
Exactly.
Can't do that.
It wasn't going to happen. Yeah.
Can't do anything that crazy. You got to get rid of all the drama. So yeah, we're
here
keep
for
all
love.
these idiots over here. Yeah, think we're really here for love. Think we really want that? No, we want ratings. If love comes out of it, bonus.
Both Braden and Adrian get the rose. Now Braden gets the last rose, right? Here's what I like about what he did. First of all, if he's very dramatic about it, which again she likes. She likes the overly dramatic expression of intent and love, right? And then even when they break, everybody's back in position. All right, that's it. He's the first one to run over to go grab a hug from her so that before anybody else can. Mm-hmm. And then even stands up after, well, let's do a toast to you.
Right. Yeah. Which I'm like, well played, Braden, because you are competing with all these other men. Who are trying to date her. So you got to constantly find ways to stand out. And
that he's definitely done. So looks like it's going to be an interesting episode for the next one because, let's see, we've got episode 3 on Monday, right? So I'm going to be out of town all next week. So we'll probably have to do that probably either next Sunday or the following Monday before the show airs. And maybe we look at Tuesday to do episode 4, but we'll be here weekly again just to get caught up on this. Now that we're finally caught up, we got episode 1 and 2 out of the way, and now that we're kind of caught up, we'll be back on more of a regular schedule. But a couple things that showed up in here. Shireen says, "I'm fascinated with you guys' black male perspective. I love watching, and it's entertaining." Thank you.
Thank you.
And she also said, "But." Definitely agree that all the makeout sessions inevitably lead to the engagements failing, but they keep making these shows and I keep watching. It's the thing. We talk about these shows like, we can see what they're doing and we still keep watching them.
Yeah, I don't know, because there are some people who got married and they're still married. And they had a whole lot of makeout sessions, especially on The Bachelor. You got some where he slept with 2 or 3 of them. On the night where they can give them the key, whatever that night is, and they're still together. So it just all depends on maybe where people are at in their own personal life, their own sexuality, their morals. Some people can go on TV and kiss a whole bunch of folks and don't think anything of it. Some people would have a problem with it. Who knows?
2 early predictions. 2 things here. 1, do you think she sleeps with any of these guys on the show before making her final decision?
Yes.
More than 1?
Yes.
We just said she was a guy, didn't we?
So well, I mean, yeah, you just don't tongue everybody down, but you're going to keep the coochie secret. I mean, come on. And again, there's nothing wrong with that.
You didn't even think about it. You were just like, yes. She's
going to sleep with more than one person before she makes her final decision. Yes, she probably will. And nothing wrong with that.
Look, it's her decision, right?
Yeah.
So, question 2.5. Who do you think? Early predictions, way too early predictions. She's gonna pick. Because I want to say Xavier or Aaron B, but I just don't know if they're gonna give us that black love we want.
I don't think she's gonna pick a black guy, and I don't think she's gonna pick Aaron B because it's starting out too perfect. How many times have we done reality shows and recaps, and in the beginning, oh, well, this is great, and then it goes by the Spencer. It's gonna be Spencer. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that she's gonna pick. It's not gonna be Braden or Aaron B. I'm leaning towards John.
You think John?
I think John will be the person she's gonna go for.
Karen says it definitely won't be Braden. You're right. John might. You're right. You know what? He could be the silent killer.
Yeah. Predictions. Right. Thinking John. They got the brother sister bonding thing and all that. John is smart. I mean, to be a data scientist, have you ever interacted with a data scientist? I had to recruit one and worked with one. They're freaking amazing. Amazing people. So I think it's going to be John. I think I don't see a sleeper that's going to pop up. I think it's going to be one of these people that we've seen her interact with and make out with. But I don't think all of a sudden like Doughton's going to pop up and be the guy.
Right. Nah, I think it's cute, but he's not gonna. I don't think he even makes it past. Doughton is not even gonna make it past the halfway point of the season. We know that. Even though I understand this season is supposed to be shorter than the normal Bachelorette season. I think I saw an article pop up about it. I didn't get a chance to read it, but it's saying that it's going to be a shorter season. Her season's going to be shorter. Of course, it's going to be like February, 28 days.
Well, could be because of the writer's strike.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No. It's February.
Black Bachelorette, I give her a few episodes. Before we get out of here, a couple other questions that popped up very early. Is it Dorica? Says, no more Ready to Love? I thought you'd reconsider. When Tommy popped up and asked you to do it, I thought you'd reconsider.
I don't know Tommy like that. I don't know Tommy like that. He ain't my daddy, It's just like no. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was so cool that you get a chance to interact and meet people like that. And the fact that he took the time to do that, I thought that was amazing. I think it's great. But no, tell him that I'd rather him come on our show so I can give him some feedback about.
Yeah, the funny thing was somebody's like, "Hey, so you gonna get him on the show?" I'm like, "If he watches it, he won't come on. If he watches what we said about last season, he." Like he probably won't. And Melissa said, "See, again, people asking about it." Melissa says, "I missed it. What about Ready to Love? Are you going back?"
Nope, I missed it. I'm not going back. Never done Ready to Love. Never done Ready to Love.
I tried.
Again.
I tried. And we know somebody who's on the show this time, too.
I don't. No, not doing it.
All right. Prayer warriors. I guess those prayers weren't strong enough this time.
You stop. Yeah, you can blow those candles out. Everything that you did, it's not happening.
You throw those crystals away.
Yeah, throw those crystals away. Go ahead and mop up that chicken blood that you cut up. Whatever you did, whatever God you prayed to that you try to get me to Ready to Love, it's not happening.
Oh, well, we know Married at First Sight's about to come back anyway, so there'll be that one. We'll be back for that. And look out for the regular episodes. They'll be on the way back as well, too, man. Appreciate you guys always hanging out with us. Love the feedback. And I love all the comments in the live chat, and love the fact that you guys are constantly here with us. So appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button, too.
Yes, please. Thanks for hanging with us on a Saturday night.
Hey, I'm Yanni Rude.
I'm Just Terrell.
Make sure you follow us at Yanni Rude, at Just Terrell, and at RGRT Pod.
Yeah, send us some of your random thoughts or some of the bullshit you find on the internet. We'll talk about it on the regular show.
It's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts Podcast. Cheers. Water bottles up.
Mm-hmm.